Marcus Wesson has been described as the worst mass murderer in Fresno's history. Not only did he kill 9 people, but they were all his children, products of incestuous abuse. Wesson was a cult-like patriarch to his family and believed himself to be the Messiah, but the murders of 2004 have largely been forgotten. Marcus Wesson was born in Kansas in 1946. His mother was a religious fanatic. His father was an alcoholic and an abuser. After his family moved to California, Marcus dropped out of high school and joined the army. He spent years in Europe. It was the closest thing to a stable job he had ever had. When Marcus moved back to America, he left the army. He convinced a married woman named Rosemary Solorio to leave her husband. They moved in together, along with Rosemary's children. The pair had a son in 1974. But at the same time, Wesson was grooming Rosemary's 8-year-old daughter, Elizabeth. He told the girl that God had chosen her to be his bride. In 1974, Wesson married Elizabeth. They even staged a ceremony in their home. By the time she was 12, Wesson was sexually abusing the girl. When she was 15, Elizabeth became pregnant. He married her in a legal ceremony and she gave birth to his child. Eventually, Elizabeth would give birth to 10 of Wesson's children, though one died as an infant. Despite the growing family, Wesson did not have a job. He lived on welfare, and when his children grew old enough, he sent them out to work and took the wages for himself. The family moved between shacks, vacant houses, and even boats. They scavenged for food wherever they could find it. Wesson dominated his family. He homeschooled the children himself. He used a handwritten Bible in which Jesus Christ was portrayed as a vampire. Gradually, he taught the children that he was an incarnation of God. They were forced to refer to him as Lord or Master. The kids were raised in an abusive cult with Wesson at its head. He told his daughters that they were destined to become his wives. People had no idea what Marcus was doing, not even his extended family. His brothers and sisters even entrusted him to look after their children, Marcus's niece and nephews, while they went through their own struggles. Taking care to separate the girls from the boys, he worried that his incestuous lust might transmit to the next generation. The boys stayed in a rundown shack in the woods, while the girls were hidden away on a boat. Whenever the daughters or nieces reached 7, there would be another wedding ceremony. All 5 of his wives became pregnant with incestuous children. Wesson began to prepare the children for the apocalypse. He told the kids every day that people were going to try to stop them. Police officers, he taught them, were demons coming to hurt them. If the police ever broke into the home, he had taught the children what to do. They would fight back. They would defend the family. They would protect their God. Anyone who disobeyed Wesson or talked to a person outside the family was beaten mercilessly. When the family went out, the children walked in a single file behind Wesson. All dressed in black robes, they were told to stare at the ground. Though some of the children managed to escape, when they reached adulthood, they never reported Wesson to the police. They were too scared. On March 12, 2004, several members of the family rebelled. 2 nieces who had been abused by Wesson arrived at the compound where the family was staying. They demanded their daughters, who were being held inside. Wesson refused, so the police were called. Wesson saw the police officers and ran inside the house. The officers ordered him out, but he ignored them. The police had no legal right to enter, even after talking with the city attorney. 2 other family members burst out of the building, shouting that Wesson had a gun. A SWAT team was called. Just as they arrived, Wesson stepped out of the house. He was drenched in blood and stood with his hands in the air, surrendering. The police arrested Wesson and entered the house. Inside, they found 9 dead bodies, ages ranging from 1 to 25. Each one had been shot through the eye. 2 were Wesson's daughters. The others were children of his daughters and nieces. They were slumped on the ground in the bedroom. The walls were lined with 10 antique coffins. After decades of rape and incest, Marcus Wesson's reign as a cult leader was over. Wesson was tried and convicted of 9 murders and sentenced to death. The murders were described by the mayor of Fresno as the worst mass killing in the city's history.